Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix these bad boys together, both of them, because they are inextricably linked. And guys, my friends, Los Angeles catches on fire. Then all of a sudden, the NRA decides to go ahead and launch unconstitutional challenges to short-barreled rifles at the exact same time that we're going to go with suppressor removal from the House, Senate, and the legislature. Guys, I am here for this. Everything I'm about to show you is going to be linked in the description box below. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. If you are on team Fight for Our Rights and continue winning by kicking them right in the teeth, let's go. All right, listen, guys. We got to dive into something over on my X profile, at Braden LOA, if you want to follow along and have a lot of really funny exchanges, particularly now that the bonfire is going on out there in Los Angeles. Anyway, check this out. NRA legal alert. Today, the NRA-ILA filed a petition for certiorari requesting the U.S. Supreme Court hear a challenge to the National Firearms Act of 1934's restriction on short-barreled rifles in Rush v. United States. So, okay. And I think that case you're going to hear a lot of it. Rush versus United States. I know I'll cover that. I'm highly interested in something like that, and I know you guys are as well. But if we've got legislatures passing out of the House suppressor removal from the NFA because it's a tax, and it's indeed a tax, and legislatures are now convinced that it's a tax, you're going to see it be weakened significantly, and you're going to get challenges like this from the NRA that has woken up from quite a coma, in my personal opinion, coming after short-barreled restrictions in an actual case requested at the SCOTUS. Let's dive in. Credit where credit's due. You guys know that I dish out critique and I dish out praise wherever it's applicable. In this case, the NRA, okay. If you guys are coming out and trying to make a statement on the way back, there's a long road, but this is a good step on that road. Let's keep going. NRA-ILA petitions the U.S. Supreme Court to hear challenge to NFA restrictions on short-barreled rifles. Now, this is a big one, guys, because if short-barreled rifles go away and suppressors go away, that really only means that machine guns are still behind the NFA. I mean, pretty much at that point. That also means a 100-year defeat of a 100-year gun control effort, which is signaling the collapse of the progressive era. Again, notice I've always told you, progressivism and gun control are one and the same. They go after abortion rights, they go after healthcare with the tax thing, they go after gun rights. They all do the exact same thing. It's all progressive based, right? That's the entire underlying secret they don't want to tell you. Let's continue though. Today, the National Rifle Association Institute for Legislative Action filed a petition for certiorari, word always messes me up, certiorari, requesting that the U.S. Supreme Court hear a challenge to the NFA's 1934 restrictions on short-barreled rifles in the case Rush v. United States. We're going to go through a few of the talking points here about it, but guys, you get short-barrel rifles at the SCOTUS. You get AR-15s at the SCOTUS. You get sensitive places at the SCOTUS. Guys, there's not a whole lot of cases on the gun control side going towards the SCOTUS. It's all they're screwing up. Correct them. Let's keep going. The NFA imposes tax. Tax, very important. We're going to come back to that. We've been hitting that for 2 weeks. We're going to continue. And registration requirements on any rifle having a barrel shorter than 16 inches. Completely arbitrary. A violation is punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $250,000, in addition to the forfeiture of the rifle. The petition requests that the Supreme Court hear the case and hold the regulations unconstitutional. So they're just going for the throat. And I'm freaking here for it. Because the reason that you're going to spend 10 years in prison and $250,000 fine is because you didn't pay a tax. And if you don't believe me in that statement and think it's some other magical thing, the Attorney General, when the NFA went into place in 1934, openly testified saying the only way this is constitutional is if we make this a tax. So there is no way around this. You're paying that stiff of a penalty for a tax. All right, let's keep going. The National Firearms Act imposes burdens on law-abiding gun owners that have no grounding in the text, history, or tradition of the Second Amendment. Bruin decision, said Doug Hamley, NRA Executive Vice President and CEO. The Second Amendment guarantees the right of Americans to own commonly used firearms, including short-barreled rifles, without government interference, and we're hopeful that the Supreme Court will use that opportunity to reaffirm that right. Again, NRA seems to have been paying attention. They are not out of the woods. They got a long, long road to get out of the whole Wayne LaPierre shadow. But, I'm going to say but, what they have done in this filing, what they have done in the suppressor removal, in the conversations, and a lot of the maneuvering in politics in the House and the Senate, they're making moves. That's all I'm going to tell you at this point. Outcome yet to be seen, but they're making moves. The petition emphasizes the confusion among the lower courts over how to adjudicate restrictions on specific categories of arms, including not only short-barreled rifles, but also AR-styled rifles and standard capacity magazines, and the need for the court to add clarification and reinforce its precedents. The petition proceeds to explain why the NFA's restrictions on short-barreled rifles violate the Second Amendment under the Supreme Court's test. They do, it's obvious, just like AR-15s, Kavanaugh. Put simply, short-barreled rifles are arms covered by the Second Amendment's plain text, also supported and affirmed by the DOJ's stance on suppressors. Same thing. These are all the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. And there is no historical tradition of regulation that supports the registration and taxation of common arms. Guys, one more time on this topic. You are seeing all the providers of Second Amendment rights and advocacy groups, all of them. They are all hovering over the fact that it's a tax. That is not an accident. They are all consolidating over the fact that it's a tax. You just heard in this Supreme Court petition for certiorari, it's a tax. American Suppressor Association, it's a tax. GOA, it's a tax. FPC, the standards. But what you're talking about right now is all of them over the target of it is a tax. Because if it is a tax, which it 1000% is, then it gets by the Byrd rule, and guess what else does too? Short-barreled rifles, machine guns, anything else that they've done through financial means against us. The crown jewel of destroying the NFA is 100% within grasp because it's a tax, and people have finally found the pair of balls from someone's purse somewhere, and they discovered that they'll actually say it now. That wasn't targeted at the NRA. That was just targeted at, in general, and politicians and stuff. Anyway, let's continue. The NFA's restrictions on short-barreled rifles have unconstitutionally burdened law-abiding gun owners for far too long, said John Comerford, NRA ILA Executive Director. The NRA is proud to stand at the forefront of this fight to restore our freedoms and ensure that peaceable citizens are not treated like criminals for owning commonly used firearms. And an excellent addendum right there, second time, common use. That is a stab at the Kavanaugh excuse language. That is a stab at Sotomayor and Kagan on two different opinions in the past 12 months that have also said AR-15s are common use. We're laying the groundwork, guys. The time of holding the line and taking arrows all the time is back behind us. We are grinding forward. That's why we are doing the things that we are doing collectively as a group. We are making gains because there has been a switch in the psyche of the gun world, and now everyone is driving for that goal, and it's incredible. And that is what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think the NFA is going to be gutted this way or legislatively? And I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.